Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, third-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. With that, let's get you over to the home of Super Bowl 53 coming up in February, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. For the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A moment ago, here was the scene, the Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, we're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
This offense begins and ends with Ezekiel Elliott. He played in only 10 games last year after leading the league in rushing as a rookie, but still led the league in rushing yards per game for the 2nd year in a row. When he gets his hands on the football, everyone comes to the edge of their seat.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So he's picking up where he left off last week, a tackle for loss there. And remember, coming off the end a week ago, 4 of them.
And I like how you said picking up, because that means he's probably using his hands really well. I know people don't think about it a whole lot. He's got to use those to control the people trying to block him, shed them, and get to the ball carrier in the offensive backfield.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
They're hoping to get rid of that interception. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. They with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Throwing. Prescott. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll run it now out of the gun. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. To throw is Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A give to Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards for Julio Jones as wide receiver, one of the strongest receivers in the league, runs over defensive backs, but also thinks his way through the game, really knows how to collaborate with his quarterback, Matt Ryan.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Oh, look at that. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a gain there of 11 yards. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Now Ryan on 1st down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Desmond Trufant there making the tackle. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Deion Jones, their middle linebacker, doesn't have the size that a lot of people are looking for at that position, but his speed overwhelms you. Maybe the best coverage linebacker in the NFL. Kind of sealed that reputation with a big-time interception in New Orleans late in the season in 2017.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Prescott firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Prescott from the gun on third. Steps away to his left. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Matt Ryan in the offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Get up!
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, Ryan. That is incomplete. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
The anchor of this Cowboys defense is linebacker Sean Lee. Finished with 118 tackles despite missing 4 full games and the majority of another one in 2017. And you can absolutely see it's a different defense when he's on the field as opposed to when he's off of it. Agile, diagnoses plays well, and a fierce, fierce tackler.
On second down, Freeman. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 45 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Problem probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. First catch there for the rookie Ridley, and it's a 1st down.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the 1st down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Ryan will throw again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
When I was playing, all our defensive coaches talked about when you're near your own goal line and you're trying to stop them from getting in, your heart gets tested. What a nice play on the last down.
A lot of heart on 2nd. Do they have the heart on 3rd? It's Coleman here. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bryant's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. The give is to Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Creeping up on 1,000, could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively, maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now instead of blitzing your linebacker, dropping him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
Yeah, a little bit of a cat-and-mouse game.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play at any spot on the field.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the 1st half.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Ryan. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Prescott on first down. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Prescott now. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Cowboys on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third and 11. Prescott from the gun. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Prescott now, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at first and 10. This is Elliott. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's third and 1. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Prescott going to come up first and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, that's Austin. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Ryan on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
While sometimes it doesn't appear like much, the out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, he can turn into a big play. But the reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got Sanu. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Ryan now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. To throw again is Ryan. Drops it off for Coleman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey, let's go!
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now Ryan on 1st down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Eric Silver as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 1st down, Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago, and it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. And here now come the Falcons. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Complete over the middle to Hardy. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
Hey, let's go.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Here's Ryan. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. The left side completion to Jones. Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 88 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they designed every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage. Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
4 down. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
In on the stop, Damontae Kazee. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it, too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
This is taken at the 15. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Now a play fake here on first down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
He got 29 yards that time. And when these two are clicking, Ryan and Jones, and we've seen multiple hookups here in this one, usually their offense is clicking, and that's why they're winning.
Yeah, they tend to follow what those two do. They set the tone for either a good day or maybe a tougher day. And right now, we're seeing an excellent game because those two are finding each other. No matter where on the field, they're making plays. And
he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Robert Alford. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. Oh, now he bowls him over. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And the first play in the drive there is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Hey, here we go. Wide 8.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Prescott again. Over the middle, he hits Austin to the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. They'll give him 8 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Looking to throw, Prescott. He finds his man, it's Austin. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Here we go. Wide 8.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it. I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Well, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Coleman now. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to him on 1st down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger. and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On third down, that's Coleman. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. And their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Here we go. Wide 8.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Here we go. Wide 8.
A first down throw for Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Wide 8.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. It's caught right side. It's Hearns. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas first down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Here we go. Wide 8. 26.
Prescott yet again. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And again, it's Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Austin. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 3 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. To the air again, Prescott. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Now Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Atlanta, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.